Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me this week. You can see that I have a very special guest here with me who is going to introduce himself in a moment. So we're actually going to talk about something very controversial, and it was to do with the video that I released previously about detracking. So if you're interested in this topic, then please keep on watching. Okay, so this week I have a very special guest. Rents, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone first so we get to know who you are?
Hi, everyone. My name is Renz Rico Hermoso. I'm teaching currently at Chadwick International, but I used to teach in China for about 3 years at Le Mans International School. Prior to that, I was in Vermont in a public school. And then before that, I was in Thailand for
Wow.
2.5 years. And then I was born in the Philippines. So I
Oh,
taught there for a year after
wow.
going international.
Right. So it
Yes.
sounds like you've had vast international experience teaching in different parts of the world. And so that means you've been able to witness a lot of different systems, a lot of different approaches. And a couple of weeks ago, I actually released a video on what I feel are the issues of tracking students, which means putting students in terms of their mathematical ability, putting students in classes in terms of the mathematical ability. And Rents, you mentioned that you had actually visited a school called Southside High and visited the wonderful Dr. Karen Burrows, who she had detracked her school. So the Washington Post reported on the success of her program, and you've actually witnessed this. So could you tell us a little bit about what you saw when you visited the school and the program of how we actually detrack?
Yes. So when I read the article that you shared, I was like, oh yeah, I visited there. So I visited twice actually. So my school in the U.S. in Vermont really had a long project, and my principal, Dr. Dorin Dorfman,
Mhm.
actually led that visit. So I was able to go visit with the other teachers. I visited the high school and also the middle school. So it's really interesting to see how they do it there. And I just look at their schedule, and I think it's still the same. They still teach 40-minute
Mhm.
schedule, and I believe they have 9 periods. There, it starts
Right,
with 0 period up to
right,
9
right.
throughout the day. And they changed a lot of things. And of course, this is like for how many years of work.
Mm,
And one thing that I remember during that visit, and that's long time ago, actually, I
mm.
believe that was 2011 or 2000.
Wow.
Yes.
So they were
Um,
trailblazers in detracking.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So they really changed the system.
Mm,
They detracked. I think they changed it from 3 levels to
mhm.
1 level.
Okay, okay.
Um, yes. So what they did was the period zero, the zero
Mm,
period is
mm,
the help for students. So
okay.
teachers get use that time to help students who need support,
Mhm,
and students who are in regular classes.
mm,
All the students attend regular classes every day for
mhm,
40 minutes.
mhm.
And in addition to that, they have, they called it mathematics work. So who need additional support,
Mhm.
they have to attend that workshop,
Okay, yeah.
have 2 classes.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yes. So Dr. Burris
Yes.
provided common planning time for teachers.
Okay, that's
So
important.
teachers,
Yes.
yes, it is important. They really plan
Mm,
during that
mm,
time. And
yes.
I don't know how they did that, but that's they have common planning time throughout
Right.
the day.
And I think
And
that's key. So Renz, I think picking up on that point about collaborative planning. So I think that collaborative planning is key to success if you want to have mixed attainment grouping in mathematics. And that allows, I think, teachers to bring their experience and to co-design and co-create learning experiences that are high ceiling, low threshold, right? So that every student can enter at their stage and exit according to their understanding and background. Yeah. What else was there? I think everyone's going to be really interested to hear. This is the secret recipe, right, for the secret sauce. So
Yes, and they also implemented the co-teaching method.
oh,
So
okay,
in the classroom, there is special ed teacher in the classroom.
okay,
So it
okay,
is a co-taught class.
right, okay,
Um, so when the teacher is teaching, the special ed is working with the students who need help in the classroom.
right,
So they really do that. And of course, differentiated instructions.
right.
Focus on that as well.
Yes. I find that
And
a lot of teachers say to me, Rents, that they really struggle with differentiated instruction and trying to provide differentiated learning. And so I just want to remind everyone that, it is a journey. And Rents actually mentioned that this has taken years and years to develop. And it's not something that we can do overnight. But if we truly believe that we want to provide equitable access to mathematics learning for every student, then it's something that we can work towards, right? By first of all, having some collaborative planning, by, if you're fortunate enough to have the resources, a co-teaching model, and also providing extra support. Like I love the math workshop that you talked about in case students do need some extra support. What else? Sorry, I think you were just about to mention something else. Yeah.
yes, and of course, every teacher has high expectations for all the
Mm,
students. So I think
mm,
that's what I saw, that the
mm,
students are really engaged and they know what they have to do.
mm,
The expectation is pretty high. One thing that it was really a good PD for me because
mm.
I was able to see how they run the class. So
Yes,
imagine 40 minutes session,
yes,
right? And
yeah,
how
short.
they
Mm,
yes. So for me, it's
yeah,
like boom, boom, boom.
yes,
So they have a do now, which is I actually do it in class now
right.
since I visited that school. They have a do now question, and the students when they enter the classroom, they answer that. Um,
Excellent.
yes.
So
So
engagement
first
straight
five
away.
minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
because based on research,
Mm,
students really engage in the first few minutes of
excellent.
classes. The beginning and the end, actually, that's
Right.
when students are really engaged.
Right.
Um, yeah, and based on, again, this is a long time ago, but I'm not sure what they are doing now. But
Mm,
you are probably familiar with the regents, and they take
yes.
regents exam. So
Okay.
that is also a big thing for
Mm,
them
mm,
because they have to pass those exams.
right. And just for
Yes.
people that don't know about regents, can you just briefly describe, yeah, what that involves? Is it
I believe it's a series of exams.
mhm,
I think it's 8 regions.
right, right,
They have to take algebra one,
right,
geometry, and so
right,
on. So
right.
um, it's like a state, New York, New York State
Right,
regions.
right,
Yes.
right. So that's allowing teachers to look at student progress through those regent tests. Is that right? Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you said that in the mixed ability class situation, where you got to look at a lesson, and you mentioned that all the students were quite excited and engaged. What were some of the other things that you could share that other teachers maybe around the world who want to try a mixed attainment setting with their students? What are some of the other practical strategies you saw? Did you see anything else that, yeah, helped? Yeah.
So there is obviously different strategies that they use. One thing is when a teacher gives a question
Mm,
and the student would do it on their own quietly
okay.
first.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're asking a student and then you just ask the answer right away.
Mm,
So students really are given time
right.
to write their answers
Yes.
down,
Okay. Yeah.
and then they can share that with a partner. I saw that a lot
Nice.
in the classes that
Wow.
they do
Nice.
pairing,
Yes. Right.
and it's just quick, 30
Yes.
seconds,
Yes.
one minute. It was
Yes.
really quick. And the other thing that I really enjoyed, because they went to our school, they
All
trained
right.
teachers. Yes.
Wow.
So Dr. Burris went to Leland and Gray,
Wow.
and some of the teachers, and led differentiated instruction. Um,
Wow.
so one
Yes.
thing that I learned is how, because for me, it's like, how can I differentiate a lesson,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Especially in mathematics. So
mm.
that is how I learned that, oh, okay, so I can give a story, or I can give a word problem, and then
Yes.
I can group students.
Mm,
One
mm,
group can be assigned to interpret by
mm,
writing.
mm, mm,
One group can be showing it based on a graph.
mm,
um,
mm.
One group can use an equation to represent
Yes.
the word
Nice.
problem,
Nice.
um, and one group can use a different way or different method to show how to arrive to that problem. So I
Right.
thought that was really powerful.
Yes.
And it's not only in math.
Mm,
We all, again, this is a combination of language as well. So
yes.
using the different diagram
Right.
where student, let's say vocabulary, where they write the definition on their own words, they
Mm,
can kind of come up with a word that is a synonym, or
mm-hmm,
they can draw based on their interpretation,
mm-hmm,
and they can
mm-hmm.
write sentences. They can use the word in a sentence.
Right.
So I thought that they are doing real well in terms of
Yes.
teaching the students.
Yes. So it sounds like that she had these flexible groupings, and each of those groupings perhaps had to express the solution in a different representation. So she's
Yeah.
giving students opportunities to express their understanding in different ways. And that's beautiful differentiated learning, where students are able to put into groups, have that rich discussion, and then work on a problem together and express it, not just in the traditional algorithmic way or algebraic way, but using a different representation. Beautiful. Do you have anything else to add, Rents?
I can
Yeah.
add, because when I was looking at um, Joe Bowler's
Yes.
work,
Yes.
and I was reading the other what she Dr. Burris wrote, and
Yes.
I just saw something about Joe Bowler's work there. So
Yes.
there's a lot of research that happened, that a lot of people
Yes.
probably are not aware. It's really helping students. I feel like there's an issue of equity as well, because
Exactly.
it is
Exactly.
something that we are not really helping students based on their race or
Yes.
their status in life. I think
Exactly. Yeah.
um, having detracked,
Mm,
I
mm.
think it's really helping the students in general. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. So thank you so much, Rents, for your time. And thank you everyone for joining us this week. We'd love to hear some of your comments. So please put it in the section below. And thank you so much for joining us. And we hope to see you next time. Bye.